Hey everyone, Monique here on conscious creation and specifically on specific people, romance. We know, you know, and I know that you know that everything is about assumptions. What stories do we tell ourselves? What is the frequency that creates our life experience either by default or consciously? Because Nikola Tesla already said it. If you want to know the secrets of the universe, you have to think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And an assumption, Neville speaks about this. He speaks about an assumption, even though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. An assumption is a story. It's words strung together into a sentence. Sentences together become a story. And all of these things are just words, hot air, syllables, vowels. They have a frequency though. If you're curious about how this works, I explain more in my Recreate Your Life series. It's free, the link is in the description. But an assumption is nothing more than a story that determines your frequency, and your frequency determines your life experience. So we know everything has to do with assumptions. I am in a wonderful situation. And while this wonderful situation may not seem perfect just yet, it is very close to perfect. And how is it close to perfect? Because I am very trusting. I allow everything to unfold in its own perfect time with the most amazing, beautiful, sexy. I'm looking for more words for him. Creative, funny, loving man. And it is more amazing than I could have ever thought. Like, there's so much magnetism between us. And while there are definitely things that I would love to see and experience in, I'm looking for the right words, in a way that are reflective of some other things. I am extremely grateful for how everything is and how everything is unfolding. And the most beautiful thing is that I see a pretty instant reflection of my assumptions. I'm going to read to you a blog post from a while ago, actually. I just discovered this blog through someone else, and she explains in such an amazing way how she recreated the relationship with her SP. And this will definitely assist you in creating an even better connection, an even more beautiful romance between you and your SP, whatever the situation currently is. Because what you have to understand is that the inner will be reflected on the outside. And when you can master this law and you can feel trusting, peaceful, easy and secure within, then the outer will show that as well. Do not be in any haste, because haste means lack. Do not worry about anything else but getting your inner conversations and your assumptions in the right order. For the rest, do only what makes you happy. Let the universe, God, life take care of the timing and everything else. And enjoy this beautiful little story. The link is in the description. Keep doing the work. Keep changing yourself, because everything comes from you. Okay, let's get into the story. My SP story started when I met a guy who ticked all the boxes on my list of a dream partner. When we first met, the relationship was so easy. Everything flowed naturally and easily fell into place. He was everything I always wanted, and he really liked me. I had always been a very confident person when it came to relationships, and had this belief I can have any guy I want. However, because I felt this particular guy was so perfect, I literally put him on a pedestal, seeing him as some sort of god. For the first time in my life, I started to feel anxiety like no other. My mind was running wild. If he wouldn't reply to my messages instantly or call me back, or would cancel dates, I would automatically think the worst. He's not interested. Is there someone else? I kept repeating this story for months, and then eventually that is what happened. We had a massive fight and we stopped speaking. I was devastated and desperate to get him back. But if everything, I did just push him further away. That was when I decided I needed to take control, and enough was enough. I had created this situation with my continuous negative thoughts, and only I could fix it. For reference, by this point, we had not spoken or been in contact for 6 months, and he had literally told me to never contact him again. So this is what I did. I decided to take every negative thought about him, our relationship, and the argument we had and bin it. From this point onwards, I would never repeat the old story again, like it had never happened. Revise it if you have to. That's what I did. I revised the evening we had the argument into a lovely romantic date, and things were left in a good way, with my SP telling me how he loved me and how he will see me soon. Side note, also I did a couple of revisions with stunning results. And in the end, at the end of this story, I will tell you how you can revise as well. I also took my SP off the pedestal. He's just a normal person. This is my life, and I'm the god of my reality. So in my head, I decided on a new story in which I was the most important person, and my SP was head over heels in love with me. I wrote down a list of affirmations about me, how I was confident, attractive, and how I can get any man I want. And I deserve this amazing relationship. About him, how I wanted to recreate him in my reality, loving, caring, attentive, and only attracted to me. Then about the relationship. We are so in love and in a happy, committed relationship. I kept the affirmations short and easy to remember, so I could repeat them whenever I needed to. A strict mental diet is what worked for me. I hardly ever visualized, but when I repeated my affirmations, images of us walking down the street hand in hand would pop into my mind naturally. But if they didn't, that was okay. I didn't force anything. Every time a negative thought came to mind, I said no and repeated my affirmations until I felt a shift into a positive place. I did this continuously until the negative thoughts were completely gone. It didn't take long. Another thing I added to my routine was I would repeat my affirmations to myself every night until I fell asleep. During this time, I must stress you have to ignore your current reality and what's happening in the 3D world. Completely live like you're in this amazing relationship with your SP. The affirmations will make it easier to stay in that place. Don't react to anything that is opposing your desire, and don't wait around for calls or messages. I would just look at my phone and say, why is he always calling and messaging me? Enjoy life and do things that you do if you already had this person in your life. Would you be Googling how to get your ex back, etc., if you had them? No. So stop doing that. You know how to manifest, so go ahead and practice it. You can't learn forever, and there are no shortcuts to this. You have to put in the work and test the law for yourself. Even Neville Goddard stressed the importance of testing the law and see how it works. Even Neville Goddard stressed the importance of testing the law and see it work for yourself. The final and most important thing is persist in the new story. Do not give up. Don't look for signs or feel like you have to contact them. Keep affirming until this new story feels more real than the old. And before you know it, the 3D world will catch up with your imagination. When you least expect it, your SP will be back with you. They have no choice but to conform to your assumptions of them, because everyone is you pushed out. If you believe they love you, miss you, and only want you, they have to appear that way in your reality. Remember, there is no one to change but self. Neville Goddard. You can't change your SP in the 3D world without changing them in your thoughts and imagination first. Change the old story you're telling yourself about them. All you must do is dedicate the time and effort to control your mind. This may sound harsh, but you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Some people say they are on a strict mental diet, but are only positive when they're affirming, and then allow their mind to run wild the rest of the time. When you're on a strict mental diet, you should take control of every thought 24/7. It will get easier the more you do it. As for my SP, he contacted me 3 weeks into my mental diet, apologizing and telling me how he'd missed me and wanted to see me. We're now in a loving, committed relationship. He's the best partner ever because I have created him that way. Everything I had been affirming to myself came true. Even now, when he does things that annoy me, I don't argue with him. I just change it in my mind. Once you adjust your mindset, your whole world will change. The way I look at it is, it's your life, you write the script. Your SP is only an extra in your film. You're the lead, so you call the shots. You can have this too. Just believe in yourself and your relationship. Just believe in yourself and your relationship and take control of your mind. Best of luck, everyone. So before I go into how you revise, also from this story, please do not take away that this is a quick fix or anything. Because when you try to get stuff quick, it is not gonna work. It just tells me, if you want to do something quick, it tells me that you are rushing. Why would you rush? Why don't you just take the time to make this one of the most beautiful things that you ever did? Commit to yourself, commit to this beautiful romance that is waiting for you. But first, really do the inner work. Because who wants to go flip flopping in and out of something and then be in pain and then go back and be in pain again? No, just get stable. Because I know from experience that when you're not stable, you're going to create a lot of turmoil, which is going to throw you off of your game again and again. And it's just not worth it. You are the most important person in your life. Nobody else is. And you deserve such a beautiful, amazing, sexy, committed love relationship. So make an effort to take the time and to really get this stuff. Get your inner conversations right and get your reactions in check. And you know that you are there when you just don't give a shit anymore what your SP does or doesn't do, because you know they are a reflection of you. You don't blame them for anything, you don't get angry with them. You're just super grateful for them as your teacher, and you're super grateful for yourself for putting in the work. So now over to revision. Revision is actually, like, it's super easy. Revision is a new memory that you paste on top of the old one. Because if you follow the teachings of Neville and Bashar, and everything exists, Seth says the same. Every thought is actually a reality, not a physical 3D reality, but every thought is a reality. So everything you can think of is possible. So let's say you experienced a really harsh message or encounter with your SP, and your SP can be a current partner, an ex-partner, someone you don't even know yet, as in someone you do know but you're not in a relationship with yet because you have never spoken to each other, for instance. All of this is possible. But then the harsh reality, then the fight would probably not have happened in any case. With regards to revision, if you want to have a different experience, a different one than you had before, it is really simple. So you can do it on purpose from the state of being and the person you are now, and you go back into your memory, which is actually a now moment. Like, as soon as you think of a moment, you're there. Just trust me on that. You don't have to understand it. You just have to assume that that's true. So you think of the moment that you want to change, and you don't burst a blood vessel. You take it lightly. You think of that moment, and maybe they said to you, I never want to see you again. Could be possible. And what you do instead is you hear them say, I am so happy that we met. Easy and simple. And depending on how much emotion you have invested in this, you might have to do it 100 times before you feel the relief. But just stick with it. For some people it's really easy and it's fast. For me, revisions are really easy in the meantime. But I remember when I began, I didn't even go there because it was just too hard work. Now that I've loosened up my reality, so to speak, I don't take things serious anymore. Of course, I take them serious as in I respect people and situations, but I also know that if I don't like a situation, I can change it, and I can change it in my consciousness, and consciousness is the one and only reality. So you go back and you hear them say something different, and you keep repeating that and repeating it and repeating it until you feel good and until you feel satisfied, and then you drop it. And what I would do is pick it up at another moment, like a different day, and see what is the memory. Is it still the old memory or is it the new memory? If it's still the old memory, then go again and just keep going. And again, don't burst the blood vessel. Just take your time and keep going and keep going and keep going until you feel it's enough. And you repeat this, and before you know it, it's changed. Another important tip: don't go looking for proof that you changed it. Just trust that you changed it, because you will see the outpicturing the result of this. That's a promise. Don't go looking for it. Just continue whatever it is that you're doing, which is continue the new story, continue affirming, and do not care what is happening on the outside. Really, leave the 3D alone. Do the things you have to do in the 3D, but understand Neville's teachings. The 3D is an echo. Do things you have to do, important things you have to do. But when it comes to the relationship that you are changing, do not react to echoes. If things are in the 3D the way you don't like them, just fucking leave it. It's not real. Leave it. Go to your imagination. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this for now. The link to this amazing blog post is in the description. All the details of the Recreate Your Life in 10 Weeks free series, video series, is in the description as well. My email, if you want to ask me questions, a link to my website, the price. If you'd like to work with me, you can book a session through Calendly. I just set up my Calendly, so bear with me. And you can also email for an appointment. In any case, you've got this. You've so got this. Enjoy this journey, because it is an amazing, beautiful journey. And you're going to think back of this time, and you're going to be so proud of yourself that you put in the work. And not only that, you've discovered your true power, and that is you can have, be, do anything you want. Everything is done in consciousness. You're epic, you're beautiful, and remember, a fit mind creates a beautiful body and an epic life. I will see you in the next. Ciao.